know we gon' get real loud. We know we the boys in town. We know we gon' get real loud. We know we the boys in town. Like woo, there it is, now 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 woo, there it is, now 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 woo, there it is, now 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 woo, there it is. And we know we gon' get real loud. We know we the boys in town. We know we gon' get real loud. We know we the boys.
I'm always on the lookout for New Brunswick products.
And at work, I support New Brunswick companies whenever it makes sense.
I like trying things from around here.
For me, it just feels right buying from other New Brunswick companies.
If we all buy just one more
made in New Brunswick product, experience, or service.
Just one more.
We create thousands of new jobs in our province.
For people just like me.
and me
And her.
Choosing just one more locally made product or service
can make a huge difference in the New Brunswick economy.
I do it because I love this province.
I love New Brunswick.
Buy just one more thing from a New Brunswick company.
Or two.
Or even three.
For the love of New Brunswick.
for the love of New Brunswick.
For the love of New Brunswick.
Get involved today. Visit fortheloveofnewbrunswick.ca.
NBA draft, Anthony Bennett of Toronto, Canada.
We know we gon' get real loud. We know we the boys in town. We know we gon' get real loud. We know we the boys in town. Like woo, there it is, now 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 woo, there it is, now 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 woo, there it is, now 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 woo, there it is. We gon' get real loud. We know we the boys in town. We know we gon' get real loud. We know we the boys.
I'm always on the lookout for New Brunswick products.
And at work, I support New Brunswick companies whenever it makes sense.
I like trying things from around here.
For me, it just feels right buying from other New Brunswick companies.
If we all buy just one more
made in New Brunswick product, experience, or service.
Just one more.
We create thousands of new jobs in our province.
For people just like me.
and me.
And her.
Choosing just one more locally made product or service
Can make a huge difference in the New Brunswick economy.
I do it because I love this province.
I love New Brunswick.
Buy just one more thing from a New Brunswick company.
Or two.
Or even three.
For the love of New Brunswick.
For the love of New Brunswick.
For the love of New Brunswick.
Get involved today. Visit fortheloveofnewbrunswick.ca.
And from Germany,
Good evening and welcome to the Avenir Center in Moncton, New Brunswick. Happy New Year, as this is our first home broadcast of 2019. I'm Scott Squires, along with my broadcast partner, Dave Tingley. And Dave, great to be back at the Avenir Center, but I don't know if anybody's more happy than the actual Moncton Magic themselves.
Yeah, that was a long trip out on the road with some big ups and big downs. Scott, fortunately, they're coming in off a big up, and if you'd have told me last weekend in their road trip to the island and to Halifax that they'd come away with a 1-1 record, I would have foreseen that maybe. One game against the 3-11, previously 3-11 Island Storm, coming in off a 10-game losing streak. One game against the rejuvenated Halifax Hurricane squad, welcoming in Mr. Terry Thomas back to the fold, and lo and behold, they go 1-1, but they get it reversed. They lay an absolute egg on the island, terrible defensively, not making shots, and then an absolute gutter of a win in overtime in Halifax. So coming in off a high, Scott, and we'll see if they carry that over.
This Island Storm team, you talked about that great effort they had against the Moncton Magic a few days ago. We talked to head coach Tim Kendrick before this game. They had a tough time last night at home against the St. John Riptide, so they're certainly looking to bounce back after a tough shooting night for sure. A couple of new additions to the Moncton Magic that I think fans should be very excited about as well, Dave.
Yeah, Freddie McSwain Jr. talked to him a little bit before the game, a guy that comes in, rookie in this league, played at Indiana University last year. Big-time school, started 10 games in the Big Ten for those guys, so he's a talented guy, a really athletic, excellent defender, and a guy that's seeing the bench here tonight, Mr. Lewis, he's not going to play, and he's coming off a great game down in Halifax too, so they're going to miss him. But yeah, some guys back in the fold, including Duke Mundy and Denzel Taylor in the starting lineup as we tip it off.
And Terrell Baines in the starting five for the Island Storm this evening. He gets the tip-off for the Island Storm. We are underway from the Avenir Center. Welcome to NBLC Live. We are glad to have you with us. The fans on their feet. They'll stay that way till the Magic hit their first basket. And there is the Minister of Defense grabbing the first rebound of the game. And there is Duke Mundy. Fans of the Moncton Magic getting to see number 15 in white for the first time at home. A very good player is Duke Mundy, and he brings a lot of different levels to this team, although it's turned over right there. Here comes Terrell Baines methodically down the floor, up toward the basket, and the follow right there from Tyree White.
And Tyree White just beat the Magic down the floor. A lot of slow guys getting back there for the Magic, got hustled by Mr. White.
Corey Allman works at the Duke Mundy now. He'll dribble it over to his left, zips it to Denzel, quick out. Corey Allman steps around the defender. Nice move there, and Corey hits the first three. A long-distance plan is paid up, and he gets the first call answered.
That's almost too easy. Katie's got to be kicking himself for giving him the easy flyby. Corey just walking in off that one dribble left, his favorite shot.
Here's Russell Bird, one of the leading scorers on this Island Storm team, one of the leading scorers in the league overall, actually. We'll get to that later on. Here's Canty, spins around his man, kicks it over there to White. White back up high to Bird, little touch pass to the corner. Oh, and a new wrinkle here. It's not the shot clock buzzer, it's the shot clock. What do you call that, a beep? I'm not sure what that is.
I barely heard it, so I don't know what to call it, but you don't see the Island Storm run out of time very often. They're not familiar with that buzzer, the pace that they play at. They passed up a couple of good ones, but solid closeouts by the Magic on that possession.
The softer, gentler shot clock buzzer right there. So the Magic do run the Island Storm out of time. They're back on offense. Just underway here. 3-2 is your score. Here's the big man, Nick Evans, palms that ball, bumps into Baines. Baines bumps right back. We saw those two guys match up like that the last time they were in the building, and Evans gets the better there, and then looks at Baines, gives him the old rock the baby.
And so, this is a problem that Coach Kendrick talked about too. They literally do not have a center designated on their roster, a guy that plays. They've got some power forwards. They don't have any setters, and that provides a problem guarding Nick Evans, but they got a guy that they can still go down to in the post.
Yeah, that was a nice look inside right there. Baines feeding Carter underneath the glass. Samson Carter, second leading scorer in the NBLC, averaging 23.9 a game. And here's Corey Allman. Nice little behind back pass to Evans. The big man can shoot it. He bangs it off the rim right there. And now back the other way, it's Bird. Bird being watched by Evans. Inside to Baines. Baines being beat up there by McCullough. Spin shot off the glass. Rebound came down for a moment to Denzel Taylor, but right back to the Storm. Bird misfires on that one, and the ball goes out of bounds over on that far side.
a little quicker to the ball so far are the Island Storm here. The Magic look a little stuck in the mud a little bit, but work out some dead legs. They've been off for a few days. Sometimes it takes you a bit to get into the flow. We'll see how they pick it up here on this end, but
first game for the Moncton Magic as Mundy puts it up from outside, and Duke is good right there.
And that's what he provides. He can score on all three levels. He can make the three. He's got that. He can get to the rim, but he's got that in-between game, that ball handling.
Here's Samson Carter now being defended by Taylor. Now they switch off to Canty. Bird calling for it on this near side. Canty can't find anywhere to go. Finally decides to go to Baines. Jump shot is up, but it goes off the rim. Tyree White quickly to the rebound. Fresh shot clock for the Storm. That shot from downtown, and Canty calmly delivers.
And when the Island Storm get bogged down offensively, they rely on that toughness, that being quick to the ball, that second shot opportunity. You give them enough second shots, these guys are going to hurt you.
And McCullough with smooth move into the paint and lays it up, but to finish the thought, the Moncton Magic been off for quite a few days. Their last game back on January 12th, that effort in Halifax, getting the 114-111 OT win. Here's from way outside, clanks it off the back of the rim, and now in transition for Allman. Allman lowers the head, kicks it back to McCullough. McCullough now swings it over to Duke, who steps into it from outside. Not enough on it, and Samson Carter jog it up the floor, turns on the Jets right there. Carter to the inside, gets his own rebound in a crowd. Carter puts it up and in, and he'll go to the line.
And quite the pace this game's played at. We've barely breathed, and it's already over 4 minutes in. Breakneck pace here, but this is the pace that a pace that Island really likes to play at. So this is an advantage them so far. Magic have made some shots and kept it. I think the Magic are going to want to slow this down a little bit. And they don't play at a deliberate pace, but this is what the Island Storm love, getting up and down.
So just a couple of minutes into this first quarter, the lead has already seesawed back and forth a couple of times. Right now it's the Island Storm with the 1 point advantage, 10-9. McCullough wrapped his arms around that ball, turns it over though. Carter back the other way. He's got Baines with him. Bird calling for it on the outside, but they'll give it off to Canty. Canty steps back. Denzel Taylor put a hand in his face, contested the shot just enough, and the rebound to Nick Evans. Evans lumbers up the floor, turns his back to the defender, Baines. Those two, they'll know all about each other very well, and Evans again right in Baines' face, and has a little word from up the floor, Dave.
A little coast to coast from Nicky. Never gave the ball up, but that's what we talked about. The Storm don't have a center on their roster, a guy that can bang with Nick Evans down low. He can do that. He can just back in. They're going to have to solve that with some double teams or some different looks for Mr. Evans, who's been terrific so far this year for the Magic.
Carter and Canty play catch for a minute. Canty decides to put it up at the shot clock buzzer, and it rolls around the rim. Moncton comes right back up the floor. McCullough spinning into a couple of defenders. Backing down Bird now is McCullough. Gets it off to Mondi. Duke steps into it. Gentle jump shot, no good. And Bird got a finger on the rebound, and then it's Canty who'll skip the floor with it. Canty steps to the inside. Dashing and darting all over places. Canty bounces it inside to Baines. Good top defensively. And Baines thought he had the easy slam, but McCullough closed it out and denied.
I'm sorry, the NBLC is finding out really fast that nothing is easy with Wayne McCullough.
And Nick Evans takes a little frustration out on the rim. And here we see the Tim Kendrick a la Greg Popovich. 5 out, 5 in. It's something that he started a couple of games ago. I had him on a podcast actually today, and he said it really seemed to give his guys some energy. It kind of picked up their offensive effort on the floor. So 5 fresh bodies on the floor here for the Island Storm.
And this lineup, this younger lineup, really was the key to the victory, the 20-point victory on the Island. Last time out, they destroyed really those Magic lineups. They really had energy, focus, and he really kept them out on the floor for, I think, a lot longer than intended even. Those are guys that got extended minutes.
So it's something that for the most part has been working since they implemented it a couple of games ago. And the old adage, if it ain't broke, why fix it? So right now on the floor, Guillaume Boucard, Alex Campbell. Who else we got out there, Dave? We got Dominic Schuler, Kyle Arsenault, and Daniel Gordon.
Yeah, and Daniel Gordon hasn't been a part of the rotation really much at all. He's been kind of at the end of the bench, a young guy, his first year in the league, coming out of the AUS system. But, this is a little bit different lineup here tonight.
This media timeout proudly brought to you by BMO Nesbitt Burns. So, Dave, knowing what we saw the last time these two teams played here, knowing what we saw in Charlottetown a couple of games ago, anything surprise you so far? Not about halfway through this first quarter.
No, nothing really surprised me. There's not a lot of jump to the Magic here early. A lot of defensively is where they seem to have not lost a little bit of focus, but they're not as sharp. And I think tonight what you'll see as this game wears on is that they'll tighten that up defensively, because I think they've had a lot of what's been great about this break for the Magic is when you got new bodies, when you got injuries, when you're incorporating guys at the pro level, people forget just how precise movements are offensively and defensively, and how important practice is for these guys. These guys are pros, but practice is important when you're incorporating new guys. Things are very precise. Defensive rotations are precise. Angles of closeouts are precise. That tells the guy behind you what angle you're giving that ball handler. Little stuff like that, and that's the kind of stuff that they were able to work on this week. And I think you'll see as this game goes on, they'll get more into the flow and tighten that stuff up a little bit.
Well, as well, the Moncton Magic haven't played a home game since December 30th. They had that long road trip. You know that they were excited to get back on home court. So, you know, you got to think it's going to take them a little bit of time here to settle in. Here's Allman now. Boucard working on him. Guillaume watches Corey blow by. Tried to feed Denzel underneath. Lost the handle on it. And Campbell now pushes up to Guillaume Boucard. Boucard, a new addition, was on St. John's edge as that shot off the mark. And Boucard coming over to the Island Storm. Brad States going back the other way. We wish Brad States well over with the St. John's edge. But a nice addition for the Island Storm is Guillaume Boucard as Trey Thomas's shot a little bit off the mark. Back the other way now. Come the Island Storm. This is a former member of the Atlantic University Sport Conference, Kyle Arsenault from Acadia, and then it's Boucard. So a couple of Canadians coming together there to combine for a basket.
Yeah, this trade for the Island Storm was a terrific one, I think. Guillaume Boucard was a borderline all-star in this league last year. I picked him as Corey Allman reigns in number 2 from the perimeter for him. But he was a borderline all-star last year, and to get him for a guy like States, who's a player, solid player in this league, but a bench player, is a real coup for them. And I think he'll add, as you can see in these last 2 possessions, a lot to this team on both ends of the floor.
Yeah, and talking to Tim Kendrick from the Island Storm before the game, we're talking about Boucard. He said he has been a really nice addition. He's fit in really well, and he's just a guy that comes every day to the gym, whether it's practice, whether it's shoot around, whether it's game day. He just comes ready to work.
Yeah, he's a pro, and he likes, and Coach talks about his guys kind of all in that fashion. They're pros. They come to play hard, and they've had some adversity, as we can say so far this year, coming in with only 4 wins, but this team was similarly a little bit of a better record last year at this time for sure, but similarly struggled with injuries and with incorporating guys. It became a team at the end of the year that really no one wanted to play. They were really just a tough team to play against, and I think Coach Kendrick will get that kind of style, that hard-nosed mentality with guys like Boucard. I think they'll get there with this team as well.
Here's Freddie McSwain. Works it over to Trey Thomas. Thomas gets the defender to commit. Flies into the lane, slushing through. Shot was no good. But there again, you see the athleticism and explosiveness of Trey Thomas. Campbell now gives it off to Boucard. Arsenault, he can shoot from there, and he's money from the corner for the Island Storm.
Yeah, he's got that strange high release that gives very little rotation on the ball, but he's so pure with it.
Corey has some extra jump in his step tonight, and there is the high flyer that Coach Joe Salerno spoke glowingly of, Freddie McSwain Jr.
Wow.
Keep an eye on 35 in white, fans of the Moncton Magic, as we see Campbell hit the 3, so back and forth we go. But Freddie McSwain Jr., he's wearing 35 in white. He's big, he's strong, and he can fly as Trey Thomas goes baseline and slashes underneath and put it off the glass and in.
Man, we're seeing some talent go to work on both ends of the floor offensively right now. Defenses are having a tough time with these guys on both ends.
Boucard shot, missed, follow there. That was into the cylinder though as Evans knocked it back out. So a lead here for the Island Storm, a 3:03 to go in the first quarter. 22-18 as Isaiah Tate checks into the game. Wayne McCullough goes over to the bench and takes a seat.
Wayne was very upset leaving the floor at himself and his teammates, expressing some frustration. Got to squeeze the orange off the glass defensively to the Magic.
Corey Allman working with that ball now. Tries to blow by Campbell, goes right into the defender. Couldn't get the shot to go, and Corey Allman slow to get up behind the play. Arsenault open, takes the shot and drains it. Kyle Arsenault, just like he did in his collegiate days for Acadia University, hitting triples here for the Island Storm.
Yeah, he was smart and patient. A good ball fake there. Gave himself the opportunity and left the Magic defender in no man's land. What do I do? Go to one three-point shooter to the other. And, yeah, he had his feet set, knocked it down, but Magic having a little bit of trouble containing. They're having trouble getting to the glass on both ends of the floor. They're having trouble containing the athleticism of the Island at the pace that they're playing at. So Magic are really going to want to sort of grab control of the pace of the game here in the next quarter and a half as we head to halftime.
The 2 threes come together as Corey Allman, the 3 goes against Guillaume Boucard, where number 3, and Corey Allman gets the better of Boucard on that instance.
Yeah, he missed a couple of easy ones. That was the harder of the 3 opportunities he's had at the inside on the rim.
Nice hands there by Gentry Thomas. Thomas, Euro step to the left. Tate tried to follow, but Boucard comes down with the ball, and the foul is called. And that's going to be on McSwain.
Good foul by McSwain. That's that foul that Europeans kind of brought that foul to the North American game back in the last 10, 15 years when guys are grabbing that defensive board and getting out running. Give them a whack. Go for the steal. If you don't get it, it slows down that break.
And there's Gordon stepping inside. Another new face into this Moncton Magic lineup, getting to see his first act at home at the Avenir Center. Joel Indondo, no stranger to the league, but getting his first game in a Moncton home uniform is number 44, Joel Indondo.
And go on the social media fans and check out my pregame with Joel Indondo. For all you Freddie McSwain Jr. fans out there, and judging from his social media, there's a few out there. And if you're listening, I'm Hoopsley on Twitter, and you are
_FFM.
I had a very good interview with Joel. We had a false start, Freddie. And I don't want to blame anybody, but I'm gonna lay it. But no, we just had a false start with the interview. Freddie didn't get his airtime, but we'll get Freddie. Indiana fans, we'll get him in another time for sure.
Yeah, that's right. He played NCAA Division I basketball at the University of Indiana, and he's now right here with the Moncton Magic. Here's Schuler. Couple aisle moves back and forth, and then Schuler drains the jump shot as his coach gives a clap of the hands as he goes up sideline.
That is a bonus for the Island Storm. Schuler's not a jump shooter, but confidence stroke on that one.
Allman and Boucard D'ing up there again. Corey, the calm little step back, hits the shot, and he's mugging. He goes up the floor.
Yeah, Corey's feeling it. That's 10 already for him, and he's got he's been penetrating inside. He missed a couple of easy ones, or else he could be on the board for 14 already.
And Schuler,
another jumper from Schuler.
Indeed, he is. Dominic Schuler, the young man who played for the Nevada Desert Dogs collegiately, is right there, and Corey Allman answers right back. And I think you're exactly right, Dave. Corey Allman has chomping at the bit to get back at home and to do his thing in front of these Moncton fans.
This could be one of those nights for Corey Allman.
Boucard gets stripped, gets it right back. Tate was there defensively, as was Indondo. And we'll see who the foul's going to be. It's going to be on Isaiah Tate.
Yeah, and this is another just a poor defensive quarter for the Magic. Now this makes 5 consecutive poor defensive first quarters against this Island Storm. Whatever this matchup is, the Magic, they got to find some tweak, some communication, something that's going to unlock their defensive prowess that's been so strong most of this year, because they're really struggling with these Island Storm, especially this young 5-man lineup that coach has gone to.
Schuler gets the rebound off the Boucard miss and goes in strong. And right now, the Island Storm giving Moncton Magic everything they can handle, and that foul, I think, is on McSwain.
Yeah, and no secret to why that happened. He just plain missed the box out.
And you mentioned, 5 tough quarters defensively consecutively for the Moncton Magic team. They are still first in the league in terms of points allowed, but that points per game average slowly creeping up. It was in the low 90s. It's now getting closer to 100. Again, they're still first in the league, Dave, but now that points per game average is up to 98.2.
Yeah, well, they've been struggling a bit defensively, and it goes to the when you lose. I mean, Billy White's not here still. I mean, that's the name we haven't mentioned him tonight yet, but he's not on the floor for them yet. Still coming back from that wrist injury. And he's a quality defender in this league, and they got plenty of them. But just sometimes when you're incorporating new guys, it's tough.
Here's Gordon. went to the basket. He missed. Schuler was there for the follow-up. And again, it's the Island Storm causing all kinds of problems for the Moncton Magic in the paint underneath the basket.
Magic are getting outworked on the end of the floor. There's no other way around it. They're just outworked, out-hustled. These guys are they want it more, and there's no real mystery to that. You just got to turn up the intensity a little bit here and just make a decision. That guy's not gonna keep killing us. I'm gonna do my job. My job's to stop that guy. I'm gonna do it.
So Schuler at the line while we have a moment. I want to welcome all of the viewers in enjoying this free trial of NBLC Live. Free trial on until January 23rd. So that's something to keep in mind. All of the action NBLC Live is available on that free trial up until January 23rd. And after the trial, the remainder of the season is at a discounted rate at 50% off, whether you get the entire league package, the team package, or the per game package. NBLClive.ca. Winding down here in this first quarter, Corey Allman obviously paying for the last shot. Couple of seconds left to go. Corey wants to do something, puts it up. Corey banks it in. I'm not sure if he called it, but whatever, it worked. Bank in, quarter ends on the triple from Corey.
The bank is open for Corey after hours, and yeah, I don't think he called that one, but they all count, Scott Squires, and that was a big one because the Island Storm, we're a storm. We got a big storm coming tomorrow. We do this area, but it arrived early in the first quarter tonight. The Island Storm were excellent in that opening frame.
Well, we're between the first and second quarter and this mid-quarter break. Proudly brought to you by Doyle Corporate Imaging. We certainly thank all of these sponsors that help make these broadcasts possible. Dave?
And Scott, may I add, you are talking to a member of the Doyle Corporate Image Men's League team locally, so proud to represent our Doyle corporate sponsors.
That's how you come off the back end of a promo. Well done.
And listen, you would love it because it's Celtic green as our uniforms. I hate it, but I couldn't do a thing about it.
You Chicago Bulls fan, you. So can I be like the honorary coach so that I can wear the green?
Sure. We got a lot of coaches on our team.
Good.
What's one more? Sure, let's go.
Well, if I'm coaching, I don't have to run up and down the floor, right?
No.
So in that first quarter, it was a good one for the Island Storm. You know, they gave all kinds of headaches to that Moncton Magic squad, especially on the offensive end underneath the basket. The Island Storm just seemed to have a little step quicker to the ball in many instances. Leading scorer for the Island Storm in that first quarter, Dominic Schuler with 8. Right behind him was Kyle Arsenault with 6 with a couple of three-pointers, and Corey Allman right now by a mile leading all game scorers with 15. But everybody else, not really with him. Corey doing the bulk of the scoring right now for Moncton.
But the shooting percentages are great. I mean, Moncton's shooting 13 to 21 from the fields for 62%, 50% from the three-point line. They didn't go to the line once. They turned the ball over 5 times, and on the glass got 16 boards in the opening quarter for Island, 8 for the Magic, doubled up on the glass, and there's your story of the first quarter, and that is just hard work and focus. 5 turnovers, gave up 16 rebounds. That is, and look, we talked about Island don't have a center. They've got power forwards, they got small forwards, but they got toughness at those positions, and so does Moncton. They're not a weaker team than is the Island Storm, but Island's walked in here, and they're playing like they want it more, and that's not something that's going to be acceptable for Coach Salerno for 3 more quarters.
So I had Coach Salerno on Magic Time the other day, and, you know, he was talking about the tough stretch that they had, but he said his message to his team has been, look, this season is 4 quarters, right? 4 quarters of 10 games each. He said our first quarter was fantastic at 10-0. He said the second quarter, a bit of a drop-off as Monty hits from the outside, but he said now it's the beginning of the third quarter, time to get back to Moncton Magic basketball, find our identity again, and show this league what we can do and get back to the top of the heap.
And third quarter's been kind in games to the Magic so far this year. That's been a popular quarter for them, so bodes well for the third quarter of the season maybe.
That shot, this is Baines with the follow. Look at McSwain. Flies in, scissor kicks, grabs the rebound, hands it to Corey Allman. Corey with the 15 points, dumps it up to Monty. Inside to McSwain, steps around the baseline, bounces on the backboard, off the iron and down. A couple there for Freddie McSwain.
Man, he looks springy, doesn't he?
He is. Chance now, Monty zips it over to Isaiah Tate. Tate Over to Allman, underneath to Ndondo. Nice move, gets the defender to go by him, and Ndondo puts it up, but some very crisp ball movement right there by the Magic.
Yeah, smart play and tough defensively, although they did give up another offensive rebound to Baines down here. Got away with one.
Samson Carter, he's relatively quiet, the second leading scorer in the NBLC, and shaking his head as he makes a move inside there.
Well, the entire starting lineup's been relatively quiet because of limited minutes in the first quarter. You see the bench points already, Scott, in this game. 25 bench points. How often do you see that at the start of the second quarter in a professional basketball game? But that's the story. 25-10 on bench points so far.
And we see Carter hit the first, and we mentioned some of the players not available for the Moncton Magic. A couple of players out of the lineup tonight for the Island Storm. Tyler Scott, who can certainly shoot it from outside, but a player who was very good the last time the Island Storm played in this building, Robbie Robinson. He's not in the game, so that's a big deletion out of the lineup for the Island Storm.
Well, both of those guys had been coming on. Tyler Scott was hampered early season by some injuries and some illness, and really been shooting the ball better lately. And, yeah, as you say, Robinson too. And, yeah, both big losses.
The shot from Almond was off the mark, and Ndondo was there for the rebound, but couldn't get the putback. Now it's the Storm on offense. Russell Bird from outside, and Bird flies through the hoop with that one.
Yeah, and Russell's the kind of guy that even if he's, and he was 0 for 2 to start the game, even if he's 0 for 4, even if he's 0 for 5, that next one, he's got such a pretty release. You hold your breath because he can go off at any time, and that one was pure. And a quick 5-0 run to take the lead back from the Storm.
40-35, 5-point advantage, 10-10 go in the half. Mundy, nice spin move there. Duke looking for somewhere to go, puts it off the glass, and the Duke is good right there, royally off the glass.
Yeah, and he's crafty off the dribble. That's what we talked about. He can make a three, and he can take it to the hole, but it's that in-between game he's really crafty and can score in a variety of ways.
Inside Carter. And great defense. Couple of defenders closing out on Carter, contesting the shot. Back the other way, Duke Mundy gives it off to Ndondo, floats it up and in. Joel Ndondo, the benefactor of that nice little feed underneath from Mundy. And Ndondo floats it in, and 2 points.
Yeah, 3 quick hoops for Joel off the bench. Some nice, really pretty setups from his guard position. So he's really feeding off the playmaking of the backcourt right now, the Magic.
Terrell Baines short from the outside. Corey Allman quickly back up the floor for Moncton. Double team on Corey. Allman zips outside to Duke Mundy, and Mundy will just put the hand up, call the offense, and slow it down. Mundy gives it off now to Corey Allman. Denzel Taylor with the screen. Corey steps to the top of the paint, bangs it in. Corey Allman again with the gladiator pose. We've seen that before from number 3 in white.
He knows right the spot he wants to get to tonight, and he's getting there every time he wants it. And that was a terrible shot. Terrible shot selection there. I think Coach Kendrick's kind of shaking his head a little bit. Kareem Gandy was real deep off of no passes, and that's kind of a shot you can get really any time in your offense.
Yeah, I think Kareem's back foot was on the Confederation Bridge when he let that one go, the bridge that connects Prince Edward Island to the mainland of Canada, New Brunswick.
That's why you get the big bucks.
Duke Mundy. First chance for me to see him up close, personal, and live with the Moncton Magic, and I enjoyed watching him with the opposing side, and it's even more fun watching him with the home team. Here's McCullough now. Calmly puts the jump shot up, and Ndondo tips the rebound to himself. Isaiah Tate wide open in the corner, bangs in 3. Isaiah Tate puts the hands up and says, hey, if you're going to leave me that wide open, I'm probably going to hit that.
Yeah, and he was one of the heroes down in Halifax. He was coming in off of six games where he'd really struggled to contribute much of anything off of amazing shooting percentage from the line. But other than that, he wasn't getting much, and he was tremendous in Halifax. And when he makes shots, when guys like him make shots, he and Gentry Thomas specifically, they are almost impossible to beat, the Moncton Magic.
Samson Carter gets a couple right there. He's up to 7 in the game now for the Island Storm. Here's Wayne McCullough, the young man from Texas. Gives it off to Isaiah Tate. Tate tried to feed it Ndondo, but good defense there deep in the corner, right in front of the Island Storm bench. And it goes out of play, and it'll be turned over. Coach Kendrick now calling out the play to the Island Storm. Whatever the play is, it's a thumbs down. So they've got that play. Bird being guarded by McCullough.
Some bad karma you're setting up for yourself.
Bird slipped for a moment, kept the ball though, and now it's Canty.
Well defended this possession.
5 seconds on the shot clock. Canty, that shot's off to the side. White was there for the rebound, couldn't get it cleanly, and Moncton will jog it up the floor with Mondi. Duke Mondi surveying the floor, gives it off to Indondo. Joel backs down the defender, banging into Carter, steps back, floats it up into the air. It was close, but not good enough, and Carter grabs the rebound, and it's Canty up to the floor for the Island Storm. Here's Bird, back to Canty. Island Storm in the half court now. 12 seconds on the shot clock. That gets knocked away. Goes calmly over to a fan there on the sideline.
What I like about the second quarter so far, if you're a Magic fan, is they haven't grabbed a stranglehold of this game just yet. But offensively, they're getting shots they want. Defensively, they're making the Island Storm take the shots they want them to take. So far, it's been a stellar quarter here, and we'll see going to the bench whether the Magic can keep the run going.
So the Island Storm falling in love with the jump shot, and they've gone a little bit chilly right now from the floor, have the Storm, and Moncton has taken advantage, and they've taken lead 44-42. Here Cullen steps at the baseline. Euro steps in, the shot up. He gets it to go, hits the deck, and he'll go to the line to shoot.
The degree of difficulty from the Russian judge on that one, with a Euro step going to the left and getting hit and making it and going to the floor.
McCullough reaching into his David Copperfield bag of tricks right there and pulling out about 4 different things.
And I was just going to say, how long is Coach Kendrick going to allow this play to go on with the starting lineup when the bench had played such a stellar 6 or 7 minutes in the first quarter? And sure enough, he comes right back to him. We'll see. This younger squad's been playing at a faster pace than that starting lineup has, and we'll see if they can pick up the pace and again put the Magic back on their heels here in the next couple minutes.
So McCullough completes the 3-point play. Moncton outscoring the Island Storm 18-7 so far in this second quarter. That shot doesn't find the destination, and again it's turned over to the Moncton Magic.
And Magic's being really active with their feet and their hands without fouling, making every movement tough for the Storm on the offensive end.
Duke Mondi. Campbell goes into the backside of Evans, and that's a backside I wouldn't want to run into. That would hurt. Here's McCullough floating it up as he charged toward the baseline. Rebound come down, and the foul is going to be called on Denzel Taylor.
That's a tough one on Denzel, but looks like that's his third they're calling, I think, on Denzel already. And Denzel looks a little, he comes in, he missed the game in Halifax, one of the many to miss the game down there. He says he's 90%, but watching him move, he's just not as explosive off the floor as he usually is. I think he's still got a little bit of a moving okay, but his explosiveness isn't quite there getting off the floor, keeping plays alive on the glass.
And a double clank off the iron, shot's no good. Right back the other way, Isaiah Tate, I think it was deflected as it falls short. Arso now brings it up to Boucard, crosses the timeline. Guillaume Boucard strong into the paint, goes to the right hand and gets the bucket to go. Nice move there by Mr. Guillaume Boucard.
Yeah, he really looks like he's playing comfortable on this bench mob for the Island Storm, coming in super active, playing at a quick pace. There you see him defensively almost getting another turnover.
Duke Mondi with 5:20 to go here in this second quarter. Steps back, jump shot, rattled around the rim. Arsenault was there with Schuler, and it's Arsenault who grabs the rebound, and he'll give it to Boucard. Guillaume Boucard methodically up the floor, bounces it to Schuler. Schuler takes it strong and hammers it down for the Storm.
And you see they're waving each other. Get up the floor, come with me, let's go, let's play at a faster pace. You saw Alex Campbell, they went right into that screen roll. And again, Denzel was just a step slow there. He just doesn't look quite himself.
So Schuler now up to a game-high 10 for the Island Storm as Tate jump shot from 14 feet, no good. Schuler with the rebound. Here they come again. This is Campbell. Takes a little peek over to his left, sees he got Schuler with him. Schuler ran a bit of screen. Now it's Boucard. 4:30 to go in half. Boucard steps way back now. Evans will keep an eye on him. Boucard will change of pace, strong into the paint. Couple of fenders there, and Evans sucks up the rebound like a hungry kid eating a marshmallow. Here's Mondi. Over to Wayne McCullough, wide open. Wayne too strong, and the rebound to Campbell, up to Boucard. Tate bangs into him, knock the ball away. Boucard goes flying in behind the backboard, and Tate looks like the foul's going to be on Isaiah.
Jeez, there's attack mode, and then there's Guillaume Boucard mode so far tonight. Every time he gets it, he's going hard to the glass, and he was upset, and so is Coach Kendrick. He get a foul last time down the floor. He's going to go to the line and a chance for 2 this time.
So we've got a media timeout on the floor. This timeout brought to you by the United Way, official charity partner of the Moncton Magic. So Dave, the Island Storm, with all the things that we've talked about with this team, the Island Storm, one of these teams that when they come in to play the Moncton Magic, you can kind of throw the record out the window, because the Island Storm just have a way of being pesky, always giving the Moncton Magic a tough game, and really, you know, with about 4 minutes or so left here in the half, same story here tonight.
Yeah, and look, the story of and look, overall they're playing harder than the Magic. I know I've kind of nailed that point a little bit, but it bears out in the eye test as you watch it tonight, and it bears out in the numbers. I mean, Island's gotten to the line. They're about to go to the line and attempt their 14th and 15th free throws of the game so far. The Magic have been to the line a total once. And if you're Magic and you want to go, well, come on, the referees aren't giving us calls. No, that is not the case. The case is Island are being the more aggressive team. They're going harder to the glass. They're earning themselves second chance opportunities. They're shooting ball they're shooting at a clip of 36% so far, to 55% for the Magic, but a 1-point game and they got 2 shots to take the lead. They're creating more opportunities for themselves. They're playing harder on both ends.
And with all of that, it's the Moncton Magic with the 1-point lead at home, so that's good news. But we've talked about this new kind of wrinkle that Tim Kendrick and the coaching staff have brought in with the high substitution pattern, the 5 in, 5 out. And at least at this point, the bench of the Island Storm that you've talked about in this game, outscoring the bench of Moncton Magic 29-15. Now, the bench have certainly had more minutes. Still, when you can get that kind of production on your bench, that's going to bode well, especially on the road.
Yeah, I mean, you can get all the minutes they want. If they're not going to produce, then it's not going to work out for you. And they had a tough time scoring last night. This bench group did in St. John, and St. John will do that. They'll lock you down. But they really struggled last night, and the Magic are just letting them play at their pace. And they got to really put the clamps down on them, get some stops, play at their pace a little bit more deliberately here at this end, run their stuff, and make the Island play 30-second D.
Bukar now 5 of 6 from the line. He's got 9 points on the night for the Storm. McCullough goes right into Gordon. Wayne McCullough. Now a double team on Wayne. He's going to get trapped down there. He's trying to get away out of it. And some very tenacious D right there by the Storm, and it's McCullough down to the floor. Now he picks himself up, but he just had nowhere to go, Dave.
Well, and he dribbled himself into trouble. I mean, if it's not there after 3, 4, 5, 6 dribbles, move that ball. You can always repost, or the ball can swing and get an opportunity on the weak side. But that 5, 6, 7 dribbles in the post isn't going to do it. And Guillaume Boucard has come to play in the Moncton tonight.
He has indeed. That's 12 points now for Boucard as he hits from outside.
He was one of my absolute favorite players in the league last year, Guillaume Boucard. He was a borderline all-star. I would have chosen him for one of the all-NBLC teams. And just to have him start slow in this year, not quite fit in on the rock, is really a coup. And they really did a great job identifying a guy that they could go and grab.
Jason Caliste. There's Mr. Cathrice, Dave. To see Jason hitting that shot.
Yeah, and Jason's another guy. He was banged up down there in the Halifax. Gave him 10 minutes, but it was really a cursory 10 minutes as Mr. Arsenault again with that knuckleball in the corner.
It
knocks it in.
A 3-point shooting gallery here. They go shot for shot from outside the arc. First Caliste, and then Arsenault answers right back for the Storm.
Yeah, but Jason's looking like he's moving a little bit better tonight, but still he's got a banged up knee. They're worried about the meniscus a little bit, but he's been rehabbing it. You can tell he's moving a little better tonight.
Here is Caliste now underhand to Evans in the corner. A big man, smooth stroke, fires the gun, sticks the tongue out at the bench, and says, there you go. That's not so bad for the big guy.
There's not a guy in this league more happy to make a shot than Mr. Nick Evans, and he celebrates appropriately.
You talk about how animated the player is. You literally could make animation of Nick Evans, and it would be a great cartoon. I'd get and watch that.
Okay, we just launched a business idea right here. Now, fans, don't steal our idea. We're gonna put a trademark on that at the end of this. I can see it coming. It's gonna be a Netflix show. We're gonna make millions.
Well, I was thinking Nick Evans on Teletoon, but Nick at night. Put him on Nickelodeon.
Oh my God, it's almost too easy.
But he is a fun player to watch, no question about it. And he's one of those guys, Dave. you'll hear it said about players of his ilk. It's a player that you hate to play against and you don't like him when he's on the other team, but when he's on your team, you love him.
Yeah, and that's been the story. That's been the story of this. Every team, every fan of every team in this league, when Nick Evans signed here with us and then made the team, every single team in this league had a fan take on. Wow, Nick's back and expressing either love or the opposite for Mr. Evans, but you gotta love play like that in your league. Polarizers they come with every league, and there's a reason he's polarizing. He plays super hard. He's super tough. He's super demonstrative. He's got a mouth on him. He's always talking, but his teammates love him, and that tells you all you really need to know about a guy like that.
2:39 left to go in the half. 54-53 Island Storm in the lead. It's kind of been the story of this first half. The lead has seesawed back and forth. Neither side has been able to create any real separation, at least in terms of points and a lead. Here's Boucard. Works it over to Arsenault. Arsenault bobbled it for a moment, gets it back now to Guillaume Boucard. Little lob inside to Carter. McCullough and Evans double team him. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Boucard baseline over to Campbell from the near corner. Campbell, not enough on it, but the rebound goes right to Boucard. Cuts into the lane. Shot was no good. Campbell with the rebound. Again underneath. Island Storm controlling it underneath that basket, but it's Corey Allman steps into one. Too strong, and Arsenault grabs the rebound, and now Campbell will just calmly bring it up the floor and slow it down just a little bit as we cross over with less than 2 minutes to go in the half. Island Storm, this is Arsenault. They lead by one, 54-53, 1:49 to go in the half, 8 seconds on the shot clock. McCullough puts an arm into Campbell, hands it to Carter from well downtown, off the back of the rim as the shot was off the mark, and here comes Gentray Thomas to Calise from outside, front of the rim. Schuler gets the rebound right in front of Jason Calise. Boucard takes a peek up at the clock, sees 90 seconds left in the half.
Still getting the shots they want. That Calise walking into a 45-degree like that, three-pointer, that's the shot you want.
Here comes Gentray now with some pace. Allman fakes the shot, steps in. Great little zip pass over there to McCullough, works it down to Gentray in the corner. Great ball movement here by the Magic. 11 seconds on the shot clock. McCullough spin move in the paint against Arsenault. Shot goes up, no good, but he will go to the line to shoot a couple.
Really good job for most of that possession from the Storm, but good patience from the Magic. Didn't get the shots they wanted on the perimeter. A series of good closeouts by the Island Storm, but Wayne put it on the floor using that athleticism, getting to the line where he's been very strong this year.
So McCullough at the line. He's 1 for 1, 5 points on the night, make that 6 points. And for those that are watching on NBLC Live, we certainly want to thank you for signing up and subscribing to the new live streaming service for the National Basketball League of Canada. Again, it is on free trial until January 23rd, and then after that, there will be some sale pricing on for the remainder of the season, 50% off the League Pass, Team Pass, and the per game package. But again, we thank you very much for subscribing to NBLC Live and supporting this wonderful basketball league. Here's Schuler now. Calmly steps into the paint and just palms the ball up into the air right in front of Evans. And Schuler's been playing so hard, the letters are starting to peel off his back, Dave. Schuler right now is Hooler.
He's a walking hustle stat, is Mr. Hooler.
He is indeed. The S is just dangling there. I used to have a game when I was a kid. What was it called? Barrel of Monkeys. We used to have to hang them off the edge of this little barrel and connect them all. Well, he's got one of those little hang-on Harvey things just hanging off the back of his jersey right now.
I love your 60s, 70s, 80s, and older references. I love them.
Campbell puts the shot up from distance. There's no question about it. The Island Storm love to shoot. And this is Gentray Thomas slowing it down. About a 5-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. 18 to go on the game clock, 13 on the shot. Corey Allman, you know he'd love to shoot it, but he gives it to Calise. Calise, little side hand pass. Evans tried to back down Schuler. Schuler stays right with him. Schuler, aggressive defense, and the buzzer tells the Magic that they ran out of time. So now a chance for the final shot here, but they won't get it up. The half comes to a close. An entertaining, fast-paced first half that had a whole bunch of lead changes, but it does come to a close, Dave, with the Island Storm having a 1-point advantage.
Yeah, and listen, if you're Coach Salerno, you can easily drop a challenge on your guys. Look, we're in this game. We didn't play a poor first half by any means. I don't think there's any need for any yelling and screaming on Joe Salerno's part, but certainly he can look at his guys and say, look, they're playing harder than you. Bottom line, those guys are playing harder than you. They want it more. They're younger. They're playing tougher. So, I mean, it's not – toughness and effort is a skill, and Magic got to get more skilled at that part of the game in the second half.
Well, it's the Island Storm leading 56-55 at the half. Leading scorers for the Island Storm, Guillaume Boucard and Dominic Schuler, both with 12 points. And Corey Allman with a game-high 17 for the Moncton Magic. We'll step aside, take a break. Second half of action right here on NBLC Live, coming your way in about 14 minutes. 56-55, Storm lead the Magic. We'll be back.
That love and the spirit of community every day, every single time I drive the truck down the street and people wave at me.
And I remember if somebody asked me, a friend of mine from Ontario, she said, why do you live in New Brunswick? And my answer was really cool, actually. I said, because I want to.
We gon' get real loud, we know we the boys in town. We know we gon' get real loud, we know we the boys in town. Like, woo, there it is, now, 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 woo, there it is, now, 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 woo, there it is, now, 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 woo, there it is. We know we gon' get real loud, we know we the boys in town. We know we gon' get real loud, we know we the boys.
I'm always on the lookout for New Brunswick products.
And at work, I support New Brunswick companies whenever it makes sense.
I like trying things from around here.
For me, it just feels right buying from other New Brunswick companies.
If we all buy just one more.
Made in New Brunswick, product, experience, or service.
Just one more.
We create thousands of new jobs in our province.
For people just like me.
And me.
And her.
Choosing just one more locally made product or service
can make a huge difference in the New Brunswick economy.
I do it because I love this province.
I love New Brunswick.
Buy just one more thing from a New Brunswick company.
Or two.
Or even three.
For the love of New Brunswick.
For the love of New Brunswick.
For the love of New Brunswick.
Get involved today. Visit fortheloveofnewbrunswick.ca.
NBA draft, Anthony Bennett of Toronto, Canada.
We gon' get real loud, we know we the boys in town. We know we gon' get real loud, we know we the boys in town. Like, woo, there it is, now, 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 woo, there it is, now, 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 woo, there it is, now, 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 woo, there it is. We know we gon' get real loud, we know we the boys in town. We know we gon' get real loud, we know we the boys.
I'm always on the lookout for New Brunswick products.
And at work, I support New Brunswick companies whenever it makes sense.
I like trying things from around here.
For me, it just feels right buying from other New Brunswick companies.
If we all buy just one more.
Made in New Brunswick, product, experience, or service.
Just one more.
We create thousands of new jobs in our province.
For people just like me.
And me.
And her.
Choosing just one more locally made product or service
can make a huge difference in the New Brunswick economy.
I do it because I love this province.
I love New Brunswick.
Buy just one more thing from a New Brunswick company.
Or 2.
Or even 3.
For the love of New Brunswick.
For the love of New Brunswick.
For the love of New Brunswick.
Get involved today. Visit fortheloveofnewbrunswick.ca.
Seconds away from the beginning of the second half. Scott Squires, Dave Tingley with you on NBLC Live from the Avenir Center in Moncton, New Brunswick. The first home game for the Moncton Magic since December the 30th. And right now, the Island Storm not being gracious visitors at all, Dave. 56-55, they're up by a point. Put your coach's hat on for a sec. You know, Joe Salerno typically knows how to push the right buttons with this team. What buttons does he have to push?
Well, I think it's the pride button he pushes with his guys. I mean, look, it's a one-point game here. You're trailing at the half to a team that comes in here with 4 wins, has struggled to find their identity. We got most of our guys back. You talked about how Coach said, you know, there's 4 quarters. This is the start of the third, and the start of this third quarter, they better be the tougher team for this second half, or they're going to find themselves on the losing end of a score here in their first home game in a while.
So here we go, the visitors from the Island. The Island Storm now going left to right on your screen, wearing the dark blue with the Island orange and white trim. Moncton now going right to left, wearing the home whites with the black and silver trim. 56-55 your score as we just get underway here in the third quarter. Mondi, McCullough, Evans, Taylor, and Almond out on the floor for the Moncton Magic. Baines, White, Carter. Who else we got out there? Bird and Canty for the Island Storm. And this is Russell Bird now to inbound it. He bounces it to Tyree White. Tyree White steps around that screen, gets it back to Carter. The big man from well outside, too strong. Denzel Taylor got a hand on the rebound. Baines went up over back of him. And it's the Magic who bring it up the floor. Here's Duke Mundy stepping into one. Duke had a hand right on his wrist as he put that shot up.
He's got that. I talked about how crafty he is in that mid-range game. He's just got that ability to get kind of like Cliff Clinkscales does with Health Ice. He's not quite as effective or quite the playmaker that Cliff is, but he gets that guy in his hip. He's clever. He knows his check knows that he can rise and fire. He knows that he's explosive to the rim. So he gets him kind of caught in between, like, what am I going to do? And he gets that quick off his feet and was able to earn himself a trip to the line. And Magic are off to a decent start here to start this quarter.
Mundy quickly grabs his own rebound. Corey Allman sees the opening, hopped and wanted it, and he jumps down the floor. Disappointed that one didn't drop for him. Right back the other way. Double team over on Samson Carter, but he finds a way to get the ball through the cylinder.
You can tell Corey's just got that feel tonight. He feels like that three-pointer, even if it's halfway open, feels like a layup to him tonight.
And that shot from outside is good for Duke Mundy as he hits the shot from outside, gets a couple points there. 58-58 your score.
A week of practice really looks like it's done wonders for Duke. He looks really comfortable getting shots that he wants, and that's more the smooth game that we're used to seeing from Duke Mundy last year.
Great news for the Moncton Magic, terrible news for the rest of the league. The more comfortable Duke Mundy gets in this Moncton Magic lineup.
Yeah, he was an absolute terror for the first half of the year last year in Cape Breton. He did whatever he wanted offensively and defensively. Was a terrific player for them, and I think he's going to be just as explosive here once things get into the groove here in Moncton.
And Russell Bird from the corner skims it across the top of the iron. Here's Terrell Baines now, sees the chance to put the jump shot up. Not enough on it. Corey Allman with the little tap rebound to Duke Mundy. The young man from Grand Rapids, Michigan kicks it over to McCullough. McCullough flies through the air and scoops it with the underhand. Nice feed from Mundy. Nice finish by McCullough.
And Corey's being really expressive here. Tyree White is really making him work at this end of the floor. Corey's doing he got to put max effort into keeping him off the glass every chance he gets.
You know nobody wants a win here tonight more than the general on this team, Corey Allman. And in one of the posts that he put up today on social media, look, he's a real energetic guy. He's a real leader, an inspirational guy. I'm going to paraphrase big time, but basically his post today was, no inspirational quotes needed. Let's just get to work and get this win.
That's right. And Wayne McCullough a little frustrated with his work from three-point range there.
And there you see Duke Mundy on defense there as he went right into Canty. And that foul is going to be on Duke as he has a little chat with the referee.
Speaking of Wayne, too, Wayne McCullough has been terrific for the Magic all year long, just getting better and better. The one part of his game that hasn't quite come together is that three-point shot. If he starts nailing that consistently, he's going to go to a whole other level for this Magic squad.
10 seconds on the shot clock for the Storm. And nice hands by McCullough as he makes the interception and then got grabbed as he was running up the floor. But there is Wayne McCullough playing hard at both ends.
And it's going to be an unsportsmanlike, and that is for all you NBA fans out there, kind of the NBLC version of the clear path foul. It wasn't a dirty foul. It was just Wayne McCullough was ahead of the field. Russell Bird grabbed him from behind, kind of the NBLC version of clear path foul. So it's going to be 2 on the ball here for the Magic.
That's the first foul on Bird. He's had a pretty quiet night overall, just the 3 points. But again, that's his first foul, trying to get involved in the action here is Russell Bird, 24 in blue for the Island Storm. McCullough from the line calmly hits.
Frustrated with himself after missing that first one. He's been real demonstrative and emotional tonight. Wayne's really, I think, feeling like he's earned his place amongst the leaders on this team. He really feels like he can be a vocal guy now. You see his demeanor changing, not in a negative way. He's intense, and he's letting out that emotion on the floor more often now, is Wayne.
Well, there's one thing that this Moncton Magic is full of, and that is leaders. Leadership up and down this Magic lineup. Here's Mundy to Nick Evans. Evans up against Carter. The two big men come together, and Evans at the shot clock expiration hits the smooth little jump shot. The man has got some smooth moves.
And he was so calm and cool and collected on that late shot clock situation was Nick.
Lead up to 5 as Mundy went to the floor, lost it. Carter goes right in the defense there as Denzel Taylor challenges him underneath, and Denzel draws the foul. Great job by Denzel to get back and get position underneath.
And I think the Storm are arguing that he was in the half circle, the protected area under the rim, but that doesn't matter so much in a situation like that where he basically just dropped his shoulder into Denzel. At least that's the referee explanation here.
And Tim Kendrick not at all happy with that call. 2 hands on that head over on the sideline for Coach Kendrick. Meanwhile, Duke Mundy with the smooth little floater that won't drop for him.
Coach Kendrick is frustrated when he's looking for answers from the fans in the Hollywood seats.
Evans flies in to grab that rebound off the miss. Corey Allman now. White on him. Allman gave it off to Evans. McCullough with the follow, but the whistle blows before the ball finishes doing its thing.
And another kind of a little touch foul a little bit on the Storm, getting a little short end of the whistle here. I can see kind of the frustrated looks on the Storm faces. A little bit of touchy-feely here with the fouls. A little bit of the refs lately, and the Storm are getting a little bit of the short end of the whistle.
That's the second foul on Terrell Baines. Duke Mundy to inbound. Evans wide open from 18 feet and drains it.
That is more like it, and a lot nice, really sharp cuts and movement out of bounds play by the Magic. Got themselves an easy one, and that's one that Nick Evans is going to make it a really high percentage.
10-2 run for the Magic to open up this third quarter. They've extended the lead now, 65-58, largest lead of the game for either side. And the call underneath and every expression on every player for the Magic on the floor said the same thing, Dave.
And I unfortunately had a Guillaume Boucard-sized billboard in front of me, so I didn't see the play at all. But as Guillaume checks in with Alex Campbell, but yeah, the reaction was pretty uniform there. But the unblemished record of referees not changing their calls continues.
Samson Carter from the line for the Island Storm. Young man having a great season for the Island Storm, no question about it. He's been one of their leaders. Certainly offensively, as mentioned off the top of the broadcast, second in the league in scoring.
And the presence of Tyree White's really helped him, a quality point guard that's come in and really settled things down. He was taking a lot of three-pointers at a really high rate and shooting a low percentage on them, and the numbers on that have improved since Tyree has been, pardon me, I said Tyree White, I meant Kareem Canty. Pardon me, since Kareem Canty's been around, he's really settled down the offense a little bit, gotten them into their stuff a little better. The shots they're getting are a much higher percentage. They still have spots where they struggle to score with this young group especially, but really he's going to be a benefit to them as the year goes on. He's going to really get them into their stuff, get them better looks.
No, 12s are wild for the Island Storm right now. 3 players with 12 points, Boucard, Schuler, and now Samson Carter. McSwain back into the game for Moncton. Corey Allman right in front of the Moncton bench. Shots no good. McCullough with the follow. Rebounded. Put back. Great work there by McCullough off the Allman miss.
That just goes, he just is relentless on the offensive glass. And not only does he get himself opportunities like that, but you have to account for him, which opens up the floor for other guys going to the offensive glass. And Samson Carter, speaking of contested threes.
Yeah, Carter bangs it in right in front of his coach. 67-62, 7:24 to go in the third quarter. Corey Allman, McSwain with the little screen. Bird defending Corey. Corey leans into Bird. Now it's McSwain again, baseline. Gets it
nice
underneath.
Look.
Great look indeed. McCullough, though, was challenged. Shot wouldn't go for him. Back up the other way, it's Boucar. Boucar lowers the shoulder, kicks it to Sampson. Now from the other side, too strong. Rebound comes down to White, and he goes up underneath the basket, and he gets fouled.
He is such a handful, is Tyree White. Even if he's not contributing much on the score sheet, he is such a tough cover down at that. He's always looking to get to the glass out of that two-guard spot. A handful, tough guy. Strong, and Wayne McCullough frustrated Wayne. He's frustrated Corey Allman a few times and making him box him out, and frustrated Wayne McCullough there in that possession.
White from the Bronx, New York, and there's one thing that you know from players that come from the New York area, whether it's the Bronx or any of the other boroughs, they do grow them pretty tough down in that area, and certainly no exception is Tyree White.
So
White 1 for 2 on that trip.
So only 3 points tonight, but a couple of assists and 8 boards out of that two-guard spot.
8 rebounds for the 6'3" guard for the Island Storm as that pass goes to the sideline, and Tyree White spinning around like a whirling dervish, doing a 360 after this call, and Coach Kendrick holding the head again, Dave.
Yeah, and I was kind of blocked on that call a little bit, but looks like the overwhelming opinion was that was a questionable one, but didn't reverse the call yet again.
McSwain off to Allman. Evans puts his big body in the way of White. Allman now being watched by the much bigger Carter. Quick pass to McCullough. McCullough lowers the shoulder. Nice pass underneath to Evans. Beautiful look. What a dime as McCullough sets up Evans.
Gorgeous one for Nick Evans. And Nick Evans has become so good at finishing with that left hand. Loves to throw down with the left, but also the little kiss off the glass. A tough finish in there in the key.
6:22 to go, third quarter. Boucar right into McSwain. McSwain hog-ties him, and McSwain likes the call. Boucar getting helped off the floor, doesn't.
And that shows, like, we haven't seen much of Freddie McSwain. There's not much that we've had to go on with him. Just taking the word of mostly what Coach Salerno has said, and I watched a little bit of his tape. He wasn't a guy that Indiana went to a lot offensively. He was a guy that did exactly that, though, on the defensive end. Really locked guys down and made some athletic plays, and we've seen that already tonight out of him.
And McCullough, little hop, step, flexes the muscle. McCullough bringing out the gun show after that one.
You can see his confidence growing every game, too, on the offensive end, Scott. He's become a better playmaker and a better finisher on plays like that.
Nice kick out. Boucar open from the outside as Gordon got him the ball, but maybe Boucar had too much time to think about it. And then over on the far sideline, Dominic Schuler and Wayne McCullough go and introduce themselves to the fans there in those Hollywood seats, as they like to be called.
Yeah, they've really earned their. That was over by the guy that was honored here tonight, Mr. I think that's the guy that got run over. Yeah, Mr. Mark McAleese, old friend, basketball player and friend of mine, runs the kind of the men's league out of the Riverview High School. So Mark, look alive over there, sir. And Mr. Tom, another friend of mine from Riverview. These guys, poor fellas, out of shape over there. A bunch of sweaty guys jumping on them. Those guys haven't taken a charge in 20 years, either of them.
Well, after the couple of players went over right off of them, they still got a ball in their hands and they still got a smile on their face. So nobody any worse for wear over there.
Well, Mark was honored by the team earlier, and the team does that for a citizen, for their work community, and Mark does a lot of work for basketball in Riverview and other places, so good on him for getting recognized.
And this media timeout in the third quarter proudly brought to you by Quality Concrete, one of the tremendous sponsors of the Moncton Magic. So Dave, 71-63, the Moncton Magic have come out here in this third quarter and have outscored the Island Storm 16-7. So what is the biggest that you've seen in Monk performance so far in this third quarter?
Look, at one point they were nearly doubled up the rebounding stats. They've brought it much, they've narrowed that much down, so they've really grabbed bulk of the rebounds here in the third quarter. Magic, and that's not an insignificant stat. It's really just on the eye test. They're just playing tougher. They're making things hard to storm. They're getting things a lot easier. Offensive end, you can play. Toughness is often attributed to how you play the defensive, but there's definitely offensive toughness too. And the Island Storm are a very tough-minded defensive team. You got to be tough-minded offensively. Share the ball, move back, don't be selfish. These guys are doing a much better job sharing the rock, getting much better here in the third quarter.
Well, another statistic that's worth looking at in terms of the Moncton Magic dynamic at home 7-1. And the Island Storm have yet to win away from the East Link Center in Charlottetown. They are 0 for 7 on the road. So take that for what it's worth as we see Monday. Look at that alley-oop, and McSwain says, thanks, Duke. I'll take it every time. The high flyer has launched here as Flight 35 has left the tarmac.
And making Freddie McSwain Sr. pretty proud was Junior on the pretty backdoor feed. Getting up and throwing down.
Duke Mundy with the pretty little scoop, and McSwain airborne takes care of business, and that is something to get excited about, Magic fans.
Something tells me they practiced that in Freddie's first week in Moncton.
McSwain now with the touch from the outside, a little too strong. Arsenault with the rebound. Here comes Kyle Arsenault. Hands it off there for Daniel Gordon. Gordon, nice little spin move. Evans swarms over top of him. Arsenault from outside. Kyle Arsenault deadly from outside the arc, and again right there.
Yeah, you got to swarm the ball when it gets into the paint, but you got to account for where the shooters are, and that was a case of being too easy for Mr. Arsenault with his feet set wide open.
Here's Mundy now in a crowd, bounces it to McSwain, baseline jump shot, bounces off the back of the rim and finds the bottom of the cylinder, and McSwain feeling right at home here in the Avenir Center.
Yeah, he's making the good decisions. I mean, you got to shoot that shot, whether or not he's not a great jump shooter, but those are shots you got to take. You're left that wide open. You got to convert off a feed like that. And, yeah, if he's going to make a couple of those jumpers with how high flying he is and how solid he's been defensively, looks like a pretty quality ad so far to me, Scott.
I would say absolutely. McSwain up to 8 points. That foul charged to Duke Mundy, his second personal foul. Fourth team foul here for Moncton in this third quarter. 75-66. It's a 9-point lead for the Moncton Magic. 4:13 to go, third quarter. As Coach Salerno's young son, Camden, walks by. And actually on the podcast the other day on Magic Time, Coach Salerno telling me that he was brought into service coaching Cam's minor basketball team. So Coach Salerno wearing coach's hats all over Moncton, Dave.
And I wonder what his record is on that team. Is he getting heckled by the parents there on that? Do they know who the heck they've got coaching their kids? I hope so. But no, I'm sure Cam enjoys his hockey almost as much as he enjoys his basketball, which is more than a little troubling to his parents. But they're getting over it. He loves playing both those sports, and Coach loves coaching them, I'm sure.
McCullough, nice feed inside to McSwain. Again, McSwain, every chance he gets to go airborne and levitate, he'll take it. And he did there. He was closed out on by a couple of defenders, and his teammates come over to say, that's all right, man.
You can tell he's got a feel for the game. He knows how to play the game. You can tell just the way he moves. That was an intelligent roll to the right spot at the right time, made himself available. So, yeah, promising stuff here for Freddie so far.
McSwain, first trip to the line, 8 points on the night. Highlight reel, alley-oop jam moments ago on the feed from Duke Mundy. Hits the second, 1 of 2. Points skyward, does McSwain. Less than 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Lead 76-67. Bukar over there for Campbell. Shot rolls around the rim and gets sucked down through. I didn't think it was going to go, but the centrifugal force pulled it down, Dave.
They called it a 2. Coach Kendricks asked them to review that, but they called it a 2 over there on the far side.
McSwain up high for Allman. Allman dribble penetration, steps inside, Euro step, kicks it back to Caliste. Over to Allman in the corner. Corey bounces it off the rim, and the rebound grabbed by Alex Campbell. Bounces it up to Bukar, who goes airborne, and Bukar goes right into Caliste.
And Bukar's been a little bit quiet here in the second half, in this third quarter since he's been in, but was a disruptive force in the third quarter, and he's going to be a key if the Storm are going to stay in this game, because really the Yeoman's work's been done largely by this bench. I think if you look at the starter versus starter plus minus, I think it would go a lot in the favor of the Magic, but this bench squad's come in and really done a terrific job here tonight, Guillaume Boucard included.
Boucard up to 13 points now on 6 of 7 shooting from the line. Looking to go 2 for 2 on this trip. Couldn't get the second one. And Corey Allman now looks right into the eyes of McSwain and has a talk with McSwain, as McSwain actually put his back to the rest of the floor, was actually face-to-face with Corey having that little chat. That was kind of a neat moment between the veteran and the young man. Here's McSwain now. No-look pass over to McCullough. Baseline McCullough, and coming over to hammer down on him was Schuler, as McCullough had a nose for the basket, and Schuler wasn't about to let him get there.
Couple of big boys meeting way above the rim, and his teammates thought Mr. Schuler got all ball, but good job, I think, the double clutch there by Wayne, bringing it back and then putting it again. I think that not exposing the ball the whole time. I think he did it because I think he got smacked on the side of the head there on the follow-through.
Wayne missed first, and we talked about the toughness of the players from the Bronx, New York, with Tyree White. Watching Dominic Schuler play this evening, they obviously raise him pretty tough and strong down in Columbia, South Carolina as well, which is where Mr. Schuler hails from.
Yeah, he's got that manimal Kenneth Fareed look to him and plays just as hard.
Good call, Dave.
Yeah.
Good call him to Kenneth Fareed.
Yeah, he plays just as hard.
1 for 2 on that trip for McCullough, 77-70. Moncton Magic had been in the lead now for quite some time. Here's Samson Carter, dribbling away from trouble, looking for somewhere to pass, gives it off to Boucard up high. Corey Allman, dead eye on him. Boucard cradles that ball, palms it. A couple of defenders around him, and somehow the call goes in favor of the Storm.
Not sure how that was quite legal before the foul, but they're saying he got pushed into the travel, I'm guessing here, but some tough belly-up defense there by the Magic. Didn't get the call, but again, look, Guillaume Boucard's being aggressive, and you're going to be this aggressive, you're going to earn yourself some calls, so kudos to him. He's earning it.
Boucard now up to 14 points as his pretty good shooting from the free throw line continues, now 7 of 9. Make that 7 of 10, but he rushes in to get his own rebound. Carter from outside, no good. And Wayne McCullough grabs the rebound, makes sure that he's got position, and then hands off to Corey Allman. Corey charges over the timeline. Now he'll go down that sideline on the right side, inside to McSwain. McSwain kicks it back up high to McCullough. Indondo steps into a jump shot from 14 feet, and the big man with the smooth shot.
Joel's been terrific in his limited minutes. 8 points, 4 boards. Only got 10 or 12 minutes out there. That's a nice, pretty finish from him, and good defense there on the league's second leading scorer, from Indondo.
Yeah, Samson Carter chatting to the official up the floor. Wanted a call, obviously didn't get it. Corey has it now, 79-71. Inside 2 minutes to play, quarter 3. Caliste, soft little bounce pass inside to Indondo. Schuler on him. Indondo with the soft spin move and the little baby shot.
Man, he is dead-eyed tonight. 5 of 7 shooting, and those aren't easy finishes. Those are tough finishes, those baby hooks over guys the size of Samson.
And Boucard loses the handle. Some nice defense there. Moncton up ahead to Corey Allman. Here's McSwain! McSwain from Corey! And welcome to Moncton, Freddie McSwain Jr., Flight 35, airborne again.
I don't think you can throw it up too high for Freddie McSwain Jr.
No, I'm thinking he was pretty much eye to eye with the rim. You saw it on the replay, but the highlight reel named Freddie McSwain Jr. has arrived in Moncton, and we are glad to have him. Where has this guy been?
Woo. And how about the feed from Corey Allman, too? The unselfishness. Had a wide open three, threw it way up for Freddie to bring the rain.
So that's a couple of highlight reel alley-oop dunks for Mr. Freddie McSwain, the young man from Hinesville, Georgia. Sweet like a Georgia peach.
That's the kind of basketball you almost pay money to watch. on NBLC Live, wouldn't you, Scott?
I would absolutely. Well, as a matter of fact, I've already subscribed. I'm enjoying the free preview right now because I loved, and you and I both, we watch the games. When we're not calling Moncton games, we watch games around the rest of the league. And again, just a reminder, NBLC Live, the new streaming service, is on free preview until January 23rd, and then 50% off the rest of the year.
And let's get this opportunity to give our shout-outs to Mr. Rutgazer and Mr. McNeely over there on the island, doing a bang-up job. Our compatriots for the Island Storm over there. You guys, hope you're listening and enjoying our brilliant work tonight. We're normally listening to your brilliant work. I mean, I don't want to be overstate the matter or anything, Scott, but I mean, we're obviously brilliant.
Well, this is true, and if you don't believe us, just ask us. But no, I would second that. A big shout-out to Peter and Gord. They do a wonderful job over there on the Island Storm with the Universum media crew. And, of course, we should mention our technical crew as well. Brian Fisher and his guys doing a great job here at the Avenir Center, bringing you the sights and sounds.
And a shout-out to Sylvie McDonald on Twitter and also at Cat890. Opposite opinions of the quality of the feed tonight, but hey, you're listening. Offer your opinion, offer your feedback. I know the NBLC offers a feedback page. Offer your feedback. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing your thoughts. Keep it up.
On offense now is Campbell. Campbell outside to Bukar, puts the shot up from outside. Gets a couple of rims. Carter there with the nice box out and rebound. He was right in front of Indondo, but Samson Carter with the rebound and the 2-point putback.
Sometimes when you get caught in a switch, you don't pay for it out of the initial offense, but on the offensive rebound, Corey Allman was stuck trying to box out Mr. Carter there.
10-point lead, double digits for the Moncton Magic in front here, closing out this third quarter. Corey in a crowd, jump shot goes off the back of the iron. McSwain flew in, tried to hammer down the rebound, couldn't quite get the timing he wanted, and back the other way, it's the Island Storm. Carter outside for Campbell, now it's Arsenault. Perimeter ball movement here by the Island Storm. Bukar back to Campbell, being watched by Corey Allman. Campbell steps into it right in front of Allman, and the shot well off the mark there as the misfire comes out of the hands of Alex Campbell.
And the game spread out to a 10-point lead here, Scott, but you get the feeling like the Storm aren't out of this game by a long shot. This is a big end of the quarter here for the Magic. See if they can finish off this quarter that they've really dominated.
Final 10 seconds. Corey Allman, ball in hand, being watched there by Campbell. Corey steps back, loses the defender, and puts it up and hits it from downtown D.C.
And how about the sharpshooter? Had a tough quarter, got off to a hot start in the first, lapsed a little bit. 0 for the quarter, I think, from distance as Corey Allman, and then with the shot clock running down, nails it, and that's confidence from your big all-star two-guard.
Well, and he had Alex Campbell. If Campbell had been closer to Corey Allman, he would have been in his sock. And Corey, with the little move, lost the defender, stepped back, had all kinds of space. And if there's one thing we know, Corey Allman, give him any kind of space at all, more often than not, he's going to hit that shot.
And it's funny with him sometimes. He'll miss the wide open ones. It's almost like he wants, come on, give me a challenge. Make it harder on me a little bit, and he gets that laser focus, and that was the tough one. Fading back after the between legs move, that's a tough make for him. But Corey, it seems like the harder the better.
This intermission break between the third and fourth quarter, proudly brought to you by Uni, another one of the tremendous sponsors of the Moncton Magic professional basketball team.
Yeah, Corey was 0 for 4 in the quarter before that shot. Ends the quarter through 3 now, 8-16 from the field. That was his 4th 3 for 20 points to lead the Magic and to lead all scorers.
Well, and after the first quarter, you talked about some of the tough time that Moncton had defensively in that quarter, and it had been 4 or 5 tough defensive quarters in a row for this team. The last 2 quarters, they locked it down and played more typical Moncton Magic defense, outscoring Island Storm 26-21 in the second quarter. And then in the third quarter, even better, Moncton scoring 31, but holding the Island Storm to just 17.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about at halftime, about how the challenge was, I think, from Coach, a little bit of pride. Like you're not playing poorly, and I don't think he was reading any riot acts. But look, we're getting a little bit outworked, and it was the Magic that did the much harder work in the third quarter than did the Island Storm. And I think this first couple minutes is going to be really key, especially as the Magic come out with a large part of their bench, including Isaiah Tate, Jason Calise, Dondo, McSwain, the guys that haven't played heavy minutes, they're going to sort of ask Sono's asking them to carry the mail a little bit for the starters, give them some rest so they can finish the game off strong.
And should mention as well, tip of the cap to the fans here in Moncton. A very nice crowd on hand here on a Friday evening at the Avenir Center, the first game at home of 2019 for the Moncton Magic. So
they missed their magic, Scott.
They did.
Missed them.
They did. Well, we missed them too, and certainly we've referenced them a couple times with a big shout out and hello to all the fans watching on NBLC Live, including, of course, fans of the Island Storm, as Carter's jump shot is off the mark, and Corey Allman will grab it, and like a traffic cop, he tells everyone what direction to go. Jason Caliste tries to feed it over to McSwain and does. Here's Freddie McSwain Jr. back to Caliste. 10 seconds on the shot clock. McSwain with the screen. Canty stays on the defense. Caliste steps back, and Jason Caliste is Jason Caliste one more time.
That's a tough one, too. The step back. Little Michael Jordan push off, maybe a little bit to give him the space, but Caliste looking better in those legs. Got a little more jump to him. He was 0 for 6 last game on the island, and he's 2 for 3 tonight from 3. And right back comes Mr. Kareem Canty.
Canty played his college ball at the Auburn University. Hits right there. Corey Allman back on offense. Stutter steps through the lane. Tried to feed it past a couple of defenders and find McSwain. And it goes out of bounds over on that far sideline as they help Terrell Baines up off the floor. And always nice to see Terrell Baines as well. A fan favorite here, getting another stint. He's played a couple of stints with the Island Storm, but he played for the Moncton Magic last year. And always great to have a chance to see Terrell. I chatted with him before the game, so good to see Terrell. There is Caliste. He hits from outside, and he can also take it inside. And I'm not sure what that dance move Jason did there after the bucket, but he had the arms swinging.
I'm not sure either. Jason, you don't know what Jason's thinking. He is an intense guy, a smart guy, cerebral player, and he's just happy to be back contributing, I would say.
Carter, a couple of defenders over top of him, takes it strong inside, and he'll draw the foul.
And we'll finish our shutouts here. A shout-out to kind of I don't know what to call him, a super fan of the NBL. Not really, but, I mean, look, he listens to all the he interacts a lot online, and he listens to all the games, and he's listening, at least he says he is, from Warsaw after midnight, Warsaw, Poland, in Europe, Scott. So a shout-out to @Belarus_Rich. And he is anybody that follows the NBLC on Twitter will know exactly who I'm referring to, Mr. Belarus_Rich.
Nice to know that we are reaching all the way over to Polska in Poland.
He's been asking for a shout-out for a while, and I've been teasing him with it, but you're in Warsaw listening, we'll give you a shout-out. So anybody else in Warsaw, go ahead. Give us a shout-out.
Nice feed to Ndondo, who hammers it down. Corey again with the dime, and Ndondo with the emphatic flush.
And Corey loves making those threes. He loves even more setting the table for his bigs.
There have been some very nice distributions of the basketball. Here's Caliste now off the steal. Caliste steps around the defender, puts the shot up. He'll go to the line. Jason Caliste definitely feeling very comfortable right now for the Moncton Magic, as Nick Evans, just to our left, is doing some kind of Irish jig.
Is that what you call that?
Well, that's the first thing popped into my head. I don't know if officially that's what it is.
It looked like a cross between the Cabbage Patch and the Running Man. I had no idea what that was.
Well, given my dance skills, I'm not sure what to call it, but it's better than what I could produce. That's for sure. And Caliste, he's been the focal point of the offense the last couple of sequences here for the Moncton Magic.
Well, he's just moving better. You know Jason's feeling like himself when he's making threes, when he's getting in passing lanes like that, being disrupted defensively. He's feeling a little better. He's moving a little gingerly on that knee, but you can tell he's feeling good enough to be pretty close to Caliste's level play.
So here we go, 9:38 left to play in regulation. And that ball turned over almost. I thought it was going to be turned over as Baines tried to pass it, but White saved it for the Island Storm. Here's Canty. Canty makes a move around McCullough, steps into the paint. McCullough grabs the rebound. A couple of players battling for it, and McCullough comes up with it. Here's Caliste again. Jason just puts on the brakes, hands it off to Corey Allman. Back to Jason Caliste. Gets Carter in the air, steps back. Jason Caliste is Jason Caliste for a third time.
He took Mr. Carter to school. Gave him a shot fake. Gave him between the leg dribble, step back, banged it down. And you could tell that confidence coming back for Caliste and the team as a whole as they've spread this lead out now, Scott, to 22.
98-76, by far and away the largest lead of the game for either side, and it belongs to the Magic as Terrell Baines steps into a jump shot and gets it to bounce off the iron and in. And speaking of Jason Caliste, I chatted with him before the game. He's got one heck of a basketball-playing sister who plays for the Cape Breton University Capers down in Sydney, Cape Breton, part of Atlantic University Sport women's basketball. She was actually the player of the game in a Capers game the other day as they took care of St. FX 76-58. So Monique Caliste, another basketball-playing Caliste here on the East Coast, Dave.
I had no idea. Good for her.
And he looked at me with a smile on his face, and he said, that's my sister, and she can ball.
Nice. The pride of the brother.
Most definitely. So Monique for the Cape Breton Capers. We got Jason here for the Moncton Magic, a family affair in Atlantic Canada basketball. So a 20-point advantage for the Moncton Magic, 8:17 to go in the fourth quarter. Moncton looking to go 8-1 at home and 14-7 on the air and get a share of first place back in the league, that is.
And shout out to Michael Kennedy on Twitter. He's getting at me about my mentions here and not getting a shout out himself. So Michael, I apologize. We know where our bread's buttered in the league, and it's with fans like you. So don't get too upset with me.
And if there's one thing I've learned watching American politics over the years, you always give a shout out to a Kennedy.
I don't think it's the same family, but
well, you never know.
Just in case, yeah.
Lots of things happen in Martha's Vineyard, that's all I'm saying. Up ahead in Dondo, and in Dondo again. Slamma-jamma off the pretty feed, and there was the finish.
We got quite the highlight reel for the NBLC. For the workers at the NBLC head office, putting together a highlight reel from this game is going to be a tough one, Scott.
And I got to ask them, they got to use the sound upon the highlight package for this one, because there have been some real fun highlight plays, and that feed ahead for Indondo. And you got to credit Tyree White, a much smaller player, the 6'3" White going up against the 6'9" Indondo. White tried to get back, but there was no stopping Joel Indondo on that cruise to the basket.
And he and Freddie McSwain are having a fight over who hates rims more tonight.
Well, they're both building up the frequent flyer miles, that's for sure. Back the other way now, Schuler gets stripped, and here comes Duke Mundy. Up ahead to Isaiah Tate, the lefty puts it up. Shot was a little off the mark, and Guillaume Boucard with the defensive rebound for the Island Storm. And the Moncton Magic, Dave, have hit the century mark, and there's still 7:34 left to play in the fourth quarter. 100-80, Magic in the lead.
The bench is having fun over here tonight. Nice to see these guys getting excited about the performance of especially the newcomers. They're really excited with how Joel Indondo's played. He's getting a nice hand as he comes off, and a well-deserved one. He's been terrific tonight.
A big handshake and a smile from Coach Salerno as Indondo comes off the floor. Here's Canty now, jump shot. No good. And here's Duke Mundy. Nice positioning, grabs the rebound, and Wayne McCullough will saunter up the floor with it. Here's McCullough. Steps to the inside, little between the leg dribble, gets it to Caliste. Down low now for Evans. Back and Boucard into the paint. Evans steps back, jump shot off the mark, and it's rebounded by Canty. Here come the Island Storm with some pace across the timeline. Canty now puts on the Jets right through the double team, and tough finish there for Mr. Canty.
Man, he was a pinball on that one. Took hits from all sides. Talk about finishing through contact.
Kareem Canty up to 7.
Yeah, he's had a tough night as Kareem, but he's going to have better nights than tonight.
Caliste now over on that far sideline. Little over-the-head pass to McCullough. McCullough, little dribble, steps back and drains the jumper. Smooth there from McCullough.
Just gets more and more confident as Wayne.
Island Storm, McCullough now on defense, watching Canty. Canty, little slide step, gets the ball to Boucard. Backing in Mundy, steps around Duke. Shot was no good, though, and now it's Duke Mundy bringing the ball up the floor with the left-handed dribble. Duke, little change of pace, floats it up, couldn't get it to finish. Nice little change of speed there by Duke Mundy, just couldn't get the bucket. Back the other way, Russell Bird slicing through the paint, floats it off the glass, and he'll go to the line.
And Coach Kenner's gone away from his 5-on, 5-off here in the second half, going more to matchups. But he can't find the matchup Kenny right now to slow down the Magic here in the second half. They've been terrific since the third quarter lights came on. Scott Squires.
102-82. Moncton enjoying a comfortable lead right now as Bird hits the first from the line. Russell Bird, only his 4th point, a very low-scoring game for the typically high-scoring Russell Bird. That's his first free throw make, 1 of 1, looking to go 2 for 2, and he does. So Bird now 2 of 2 from the line, up to 5 points. But certainly well below his season average, which stands at 18.7. Moncton now on offense. Duke Mundy gets it to Isaiah Tate, directs some traffic, gets it to Calise. Jump shot is away, and Jason Calise one more time for Mr. Cathreist.
When he gets in this mode, it's like a layup for him. And that 45-degree angle shot, it's just put the 3 points down and let's go the other way.
And Russell Bird answers right back as he starts to find the rhythm here late in the fourth.
The man from the Cobra Kai with his very karate-type kick there on the finish from the perimeter.
What a pass inside, and McCullough with the slam finish, but the fastball feed from Isaiah Tate. That, my friends, is a dime that you can frame. It was that pretty.
Oh, it was gorgeous from Isaiah. How many dunks we had in this game tonight, Scott, from the Magic? I don't think it's got to be a season high in that category.
Well, it has certainly been fun to call from a play-by-play perspective as Canty's shot is off the mark, and Duke Mundy grabs yet another rebound. Here comes the Duke. Young man who attended the University of Oakland hands it off to Evans. Isaiah Tate from the corner bangs it off the rim. Tap back rebound from McCullough, but the foul called, and I think it's going to be on Wayne.
Yeah, and that's a foul you love. That's a foul you're okay with. That guy is a menace on the offensive and defensive glass, and he's not going to. He shouldn't change anything about the way he plays. And you play as hard as Wayne does, you're going to get a foul or two like that in the run of play.
So a media timeout on the floor, and this timeout is brought to you proudly by Acadian Construction, another one of the fantastic sponsors of the Moncton Magic basketball squad. So, Dave, we're getting down to the late stages of the fourth quarter. A pretty comfortable lead right now for the Moncton Magic. It stands at 21. And for the Moncton Magic squad, after a fairly tough quarter, they really got their legs underneath them, and they have put the clamps on the Island Storm. The Island scoring 21 in the second, 17 in the third, and so far with 5:21 to go in the fourth quarter, the Island Storm are being outscored 51-13.
Yeah, it's just been an avalanche here in the second half since those lights on from halftime, Scott. And look, this is how I expected the game to be a little bit tonight, to be honest. I expected the Magic to be chomping at the bit to bury these guys as best they can, and they've really done a job with it, and it's been terrific to watch here. Super entertaining all night, but this second half really turned up the heat defensively and been amazing.
Well, we talked about the bench points early on in the game where the Island Storm were kind of dominating, but the performances by Jason Calise, Joel Ndondo, and Freddie McSwain off the bench. Bench points now standing at 47-46 in favor of the Island Storm, so I'm closing the gap there.
Yeah, look, the stats so skewed in that first half. All the hustle stats were so against the Magic. They hadn't taken care of the ball. At one point, the turnovers were 7-2. Now it's 10-9. The points in the paint, that's a huge story. 60 points in the paint for the Magic, and that comes off those sweet feeds here and the high flyers throwing the ball down tonight. Joel Ndondo and McSwain, and that's another three from Kyle Arsenault, who's had a good night from beyond the three-point line.
Kyle Arsenault with the Tim Wakefield knuckleball on that three-pointer.
Well, that's his typical release. It's not pretty in the air, but when it's that automatic, it's a pretty result.
Isaiah Tate now backing away. You know Moncton won't be in any rush here, and Isaiah puts it up from long distance off the mark as McSwain Jr. gets to check back into the contest now. Wayne McCullough will come over and take a little breather.
And McSwain is obviously the type of guy that you want to, no matter what the spread on the scoreboard, you want to stick around to the final buzzer because you might see something you ain't never seen before.
Well, you know that Freddie McSwain Jr., and there's Arsenault again, no good on that one, but you know, as Schuler with the putback in, McSwain, high flyer, grabs the rebound, tried to trap him down there, but he gets away. Pass up ahead, controlled well right on that sideline by Isaiah Tate. Under 4 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Here's Evans looking for somewhere to go now. He'll just shoulder into Bird and takes Bird heavily down to the floor. It was one little touch first, and then Nick Evans says, okay, Russell, let's see how much you like wiping the floor with your derriere. And it was funny, after the ball went in, Evans looked at the referee and said, count it. That's good, right?
He really tried to sell the N1 on that after dropping the shoulder on Russell Bird. Gotta love the effort on Nicky's part trying to sell it.
And listen, Bird, not a small fella at 6'8", but Evans just bodied him down to the floor. 3:42 to go in the quarter. 107-89 your score. Moncton in front here, looking to close it out and go 8-1 and get back into a first-place tie with the Cape Breton Islanders. But just to finish the thought about Freddie McSwain, you just get the feeling that, I referred to him as Flight 35. 35 obviously his jersey number, but you get the feeling watching him that he's always on the tarmac with the hand on the throttle, waiting to launch, waiting to get into the air.
He's so springy, you can tell. I mean, even that defensive rebound here last time down the floor, he was so far above the rim, snatching that ball.
And Coach Tim Kendrick, you talk about how fun Nick Evans is to watch. Coach Kendrick, he's a lot of fun to watch as well, having a running conversation with some of the fans sitting on the baseline or the sideline.
I'm pretty sure he gets new friends in every building he's in, just making friends with the locals along the side. I'm pretty sure they're going to go out for a drink after.
Yeah,
at the fans in the Hollywood seats.
At the very least, exchanging Twitter accounts. In Dondo now, after that nice little bucket by Schuler. That S still hanging on the back of the jersey for Schuler, so he's still Schuler. But if the S goes off anymore, he'll be Hooler the rest of the game as McSwain Jr., the little turnaround jump shot's no good. And Boucard grabs the defensive board. Boucard now spinning away from the defensive Mundy, and Duke Mundy reaches in, and he'll pick up the foul.
And shout out to Mr. Mundy. We haven't mentioned his name a lot. He's been solid tonight. Not a big scoring night for Duke, only 9 points, but 8 assists. Hasn't turned the ball over a lot. Been solid defensively. Just a really solid outing from Duke Mundy, and he's the 7th leading scorer because the Magic have 6 guys in double figures, really spreading the points around tonight.
Boucard at the line. He's got 14 points on the night. He's 7 of 10 from the line, make it 8 of 11. Up to 15 points now is Guillaume. And Duke Mundy, I was talking to him before the game, and I said, you got a great name for a play-by-play guy. I'm going to have to work his name into the old Duke of Earl song. Duke of Earl.
Of course you would.
But I think it'll have to be Duke, ball, Duke of ball. Okay, that's enough. People are not going to pay for the subscription service if I keep singing. And that ball knocked up into the air, and Boucard skies to get it, and he'll charge it up the floor. Guillaume Boucard. Out now to Arsenault. He can light it up from out there, and he tried to, but couldn't get the range. Arsenault now slips and falls. Here's Campbell. Lobs it up for Schuler. Schuler, spin move, and a pretty one from about 6 feet as Dominic Schuler's nice night continues.
And look, the Magic have relaxed a little bit early here. I mean, look, the fans are up off their seats. The bench was up off their seats. They spread it to 20, and here come the Storm. I mean, these guys don't quit, and now it's back to within 12 with almost 3 minutes left. And in this league, as we know, Scott, is any lead safe? No, it isn't.
Well, the Island Storm on a 7-0 run right now after I said that Moncton gone up and outscored the Island Storm 21-13 in this quarter. It's the Island Storm who have put 9 consecutive points on the board, so a 9-0 run here the last couple of minutes for the Island Storm. As you said, get that lead shrunken a little bit and make it a little more tense for the Moncton Magic and their fans.
Yeah, for sure. So I think you'll see Coach Salerno go back to the couple of the guys that got him the lead to begin with. I see Ndondo sitting down, so he's going to come back in, continue his strong night. And we start talking this time of the game about player of the game, and there's again, Scott, we seem to always have these conundrums we get into with these multiple candidates trying to decide. I think the crowd's going to go with Corey Allman, who's a fine choice, who really carried the team in the first quarter. If it wasn't for him, that first quarter would have got real ugly. And then as the game wore on, he didn't get the shot, but 6 assists, 3 boards, really set up his guys and was really mixing it up down at the other end defensively too on the boards.
Well, some of the intangibles as well, his energy on the floor, his leadership from an energy standpoint, even when he was missing, he still kept the energy up. And then when he became a distributor of the basketball, and one that I'm thinking of in particular was that little alley-oop lob that he made to McSwain. So Corey Allman, again, has just been a general and living up to that post that he put on social media earlier. Forget the inspirational quotes. Let's just get out and do the job.
Yeah, and shout out to Nick Evans with a double-double, 13-10, and Jason Calise with his sharp shooting off the bench was terrific. And as always, Wayne McCullough bullies his way into the player of the game conversation with 19 and 7.
Campbell leading right into Corey Allman. Now Arsenault comes out double team, but they work it to McSwain. Now outside to Duke Mondi, and Duke of 3 right there for Duke Mondi.
And he becomes the 7th guy in double figures with a big, probably the biggest shot of the game. Might end up being the dagger, but
trying to answer right back are the Storm. Arsenault battling underneath for that rebound. Schuler puts it up. Shot won't go, but he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Now we see these hustle plays starting to tilt back towards the Storm here in the fourth quarter as they try to stay within reach. But I think that Duke Monday 3 probably dagger in this game. Now back up to a 15-point spread, but Mr. Huler back on the line.
Yes, Dominic Schuler, if you're wondering. The S on the back of his jersey has been peeling away for quite some time. It's been hanging on by a thread. But if you took a quick peek, it's like squiggly line Huler out there right now. But listen, Dominic Schuler, in all seriousness, he has played a whale of a game, and his energy has been great. He has shown hustle and fight on both ends of the floor. He's really brought it tonight for the Islands. He hits that one.
6 for 7 from the field, and he and Kyle Larson are really the only guys that have consistently made shots tonight for the Storm. I mean, they've made it to the line where they're really getting the bulk of their action. 36 free throws now. The Island Storm to only 14 for the Magic, but yeah, he's been great.
McSwain has the ball stripped as Corey Allman fed it inside to him. Here comes Schuler now, trying to go coast to coast. Dominic Schuler, pretty little lay-in off the glass, and it somehow finds a way in, but there again is Dominic Schuler. Now has a high of 20 points for the Island Storm. So all of a sudden, a lead that a little while ago was 22 is now 11. 110-99, 117 to go. There's Campbell again out on Corey Allman. Corey, dribble penetration, floats it in. Shot's no good. Boucar with the rebound. Here come the Island Storm looking to keep this run going. Boucar puts nose down, heads to the bucket. Shot rolls around. Wayne McCullough with the defensive rebound. And Corey Allman brings it up with less than 60 seconds to go in game. The fans feeling it. A kitchen party could be breaking out here soon at the Avenir Center. We've heard it 7 times so far at home this season. Will we hear it for an 8th? And Corey tries to go around Kyle Arsenault, and Arsenault picks up the foul. That's the second foul on Arsenault. Has done a real good job. Again, we talked about Dominic Schuler, but how about Kyle Arsenault with 15 points, including 5 of 9 from three-point range?
Yeah, that sharpshooting of his has been great, and the Storm really had to start fouling earlier if they were going to extend this matchup, but now it's going to be that 8th win you talked about, Scott, in this building.
So, winding it down here, Duke Mundy with the awkward-looking shot as the shot clock expires. But now, the end result not in much doubt here, 110-99, 8.4 to go, and the players on the floor starting to feel it. And you know what's coming soon, Dave. Come get your duds in order.
You don't even wait for it to play now. You get started early.
We're going across the water. That's right, Boucar off the Arsenault miss. And Boucar frustrated as he grabs that ball. And Coach Tim Kendrick now wants to call time. So play it right to the very end. 20.8 to go here in the fourth quarter. 11-point lead. Coach Tim Kendrick.
I think he's calling a timeout to get somebody out of the game. I think that's all it is.
Okay. So everybody kind of looking around here, wondering what the plan is as Kendrick talking to the referee again. And here it comes, Dave.
Your favorite part of the night.
Heave away, me jollies, heave away, and it does indeed appear that the 8th team will be heaved away at home by the Moncton Magic here this evening. Just a few seconds left in the fourth quarter, and the Avenir Center kitchen party has erupted. They are getting their duds in order. I don't know if they're heading across the water, but they're heading across the floor at the Avenir Center. And after a bit of a rocky start for the first quarter, Dave, they certainly locked it in. And a gentleman talking to one of the assistants right now, Freddie McSwain Jr., a big part of it.
Yeah, well, he's come off the floor, and now that's the third coach he's had a real in-depth discussion about, and each one had a different discussion. Coach Todd McKillop was talking to him about some sort of offensive movement screen that he was setting. Then Coach Slerner walked right up to him and had a 20-second discussion about something defensively, movement. You get your hand up here, position here, roll here, and then it was the third coach grabbing on the way off the floor saying, hey, look, I think he was talking about the rule around the rim about when you could touch the ball. With a guy like as athletic as Freddie, you can have the discussion about, hey, when the ball is on the rim, you can take it off once it touches the rim. It looked like here on the defensive play, Guillaume Boucard threw up a layup, and it missed, and he hesitated taking it off the rim. He thought it might be goaltending, and they were trying to explain, hey, man, you're up there. You can take it. Swipe it off the glass. It's okay.
Boucard now with his 19th point. 13 from the line. It's kind of like being a kid at school when you had to go to the office and you've got the principal, the guidance counselor, and your teacher, all with a different discussion for you, but they all want you to learn the same lesson.
Yeah, so Matt Robertson was the guy finishing off there. Oh, yeah, here we go. Island's over in another possession here. They're not giving up yet.
Now, listen.
And another timeout.
What's that NBA record when Reggie Miller scored like a bunch of points in a few seconds? Hey, listen. One of the reasons I love sports, it ain't over till it's over, and anything can happen. So, with nary a few seconds left here, and the kitchen party still going strong at the Avenir Center, a 9-point lead. Coach Tim Kendrick coaching it right to the very end, Dave.
Yeah, this last couple minutes is taking quite a long time to play. So, dare we have to retract the kitchen party? I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, I think they've got the track on loop. It's been playing now for about 7 minutes, it seems.
And we've got some interesting dance interpretations of the song. The guys trying to, some of the kids trying to extrapolate the dances from Fortnite, maybe, and trying to adapt them to the old kitchen party dance.
Well, I should give a shout out too to Marcus Lewis. We talked about him off the top of the broadcast, but he's from Streamwood, Illinois, which is in and around the Chicago area. And I actually had a chat with him about Chicago pizza earlier in the day, and I'm trying to think of the place that he told me that he feels has the best pizza in Chicago. But Marcus Lewis, nice guy, telling me he's a deep dish guy, Dave, liking that Chicago deep dish pizza.
You've had a lot of Chicago pizza discussions. Al Stewart gave us the place to go last year, and now we got to take a trip, Scott.
We do indeed. Arsenault looking to keep that range going from outside. Rebound comes down to Schuler. Nobody around him. Rolls it around and in, and Dominic Schuler. Never say die. The Island Storm all of a sudden. Couple of possessions here, Dave.
There's been more timeouts called in the last 45 seconds of this game.
Well, they've had to stop the kitchen party, and they've brought the Rankins onto the speakers here at the Avenir Center. So,
Great Big Sea have a song about the would be appropriate here at the end. I mean,
she's going up tonight. That could be one.
Irish Descendants. Who else we got to look at? We got bands we can go to if they're going to keep calling timeouts.
Listen, if I had a few beverages, I could give an attempt for Rattling Bog, but I don't think that we'd be on the air that long after the end of this game. Yo-ho, the Rattling Bog, the bog down in the Valley-o. You know, we're trying to fill time, my friends, when Dave and I start breaking out into all of the East Coast tunes.
Yeah, here, let me bring up my Spotify, and we'll just have we'll just break down some music here for the rest of the game.
Well, I guess the thing is, if you're the Island Storm, you got to give them some credit, right? I mean, they could have packed up their tent and gone home when they were down 22.
Many times.
Yeah. Working through this second half, but they've chipped away. They've, found a way. They've gone on a bit of a run here late in the fourth quarter. They've gotten some stops. They've made some buckets. Yeah. And if you're Coach Kendrick down by 7 points with 8.6 to go, why not?
Well, it's certainly not going to hurt anything. You get a turnover here. I mean, Coach Cerno called the timeout so they can move the ball up. I mean, that's a smart play. That's all that was about. But, I mean, look, you get a turnover here, bang in a three, another foul. You keep the hope alive, Scott, while you can.
Never say die. And, after being outscored 21-13 midway through this quarter, Island Storm now outscoring Moncton 30-24, Dave, in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, it goes to show. I mean, I think the Island Storm fans, you got a squad on your hands that is going to be the problem for them is going to be after this slow of a start is okay, great. We're going to round into form and be a team nobody wants to play at the end of the year, but is that going to translate to a playoff spot? You got to grab one of those final playoff spots. And after this tough a start, you got to stop worrying about how tough are we to play against. You got to start coming away with consistent number of wins.
And there is the Hacker Magic now being put into play by the Island Storm as Mundy inbounded it to McCullough. As soon as McCullough made a move, Campbell was there to foul him.
Yeah, they still got 2 fouls to give to even get here with 5 seconds left and a 7-point deficit. I think that we're just going to let them get it in and run it out.
Corey Allman.
And they are.
Yeah, so Corey takes it to the corner, and he thought about maybe putting a shot up, but I think that's just a little gamesmanship by Corey, having a little fun there. And the horn sounds, the game has ended, and the Moncton Magic, after a tough start, they have indeed racked up home win number 8. They now go to 8-1 at home, 14-7 on the season. The Island Storm didn't make it easy on the Magic early in the game and then down the stretch, but Moncton did what they had to do. Contributions from the leader, the General Corey Allman. Some of the new guys checked in and made their presence felt in terms of Joel Ndondo and certainly Freddie McSwain Jr. Jason Caliste looked a little better out there. And overall, you got to be happy if you're the Moncton Magic to get the W.
Yeah, just a terrific second half. I mean, there's lots of positives that you can take. It's kind of the perfect coaching game. Lots of positives to take out, but you got the tough start in the first quarter, some defensive lapses here. You can really give them turn the screws on them a little bit too. So lots to take out, lots of coaching stuff to coach up on. So really a great combo here win tonight for the Magic. And yeah, terrific contributions from all over the place, Scott. I mean, Corey was the leading scorer, but when you go down the list, I mean, 7 guys in double figures. Duke made that huge 3 at the end, really the difference maker there that really put him over the top. But Wayne McCullough, great again. Nick Evans, double-double. Caliste, you talked about, after coming off a tough stretch of health for him to be so effective. And Dondo and McSwain, really, you can't say enough about. Combined for 25 points and 11 boards in a combined 40 minutes. And all those highlight plays from Freddie McSwain, the human highlight film of the Magic, looks like it's going to be the rest of the year.
Well, we certainly thank you for joining us on NBLC Live. Remember, the free preview on until January 23rd, and then the remainder of the season, you can subscribe to the service for 50% off.
And find me with Corey later on social media, people.
On behalf of my broadcast partner, Dave Tinglin, of course, the hard-working crew that bring you the broadcast, I'm Scott Squires. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, your final score, the Moncton Magic improved to 8-1 at home, 14-7 on the air. They move back into a virtual tie with the Cape Breton Highlanders atop the standings at 14-7. Your final score, Moncton takes care of business versus the Island Storm, 110-103. Have a great evening. Good night from the Avenir Center in Moncton.
That love and the spirit of community every day, every single time I drive the truck down the street and people wave at me.
And I remember if somebody asked me, a friend of mine from Ontario, she said, "Why do you live in New Brunswick?" And my answer was really cool, actually. I said, "Because I want to."